Hello, welcome to Summer Shutdown Fest. Here we are, we made it. We're coming to you live from the spare room in Hull City Centre with me, Tom.
And me, Matthew.
Nice to see you, thanks for coming. So again, finally, we made it, we're here. Let's see how it goes. So, I mean, it's been a wild journey. It was 8 weeks ago, really, that we started this. And finally it's on. So, really excited about it, got an ace lineup. Matthew, do you want to explain a little bit about how we've got here?
Well, as you said, 8 weeks ago, it was at very nothing, and through constant planning, Zoom meetings and working together, we've managed to get incredible groups of artists, musicians, and we're here now, and I just think it's incredible.
I know, yeah, the whole team has done a great job. Well, we'll go more into exactly the process and who we are later on during the festival. But let's explain a little bit about what's going to happen for the rest of the day. So we've got Richard Ansett doing an interview really soon. So he did an interview for us. It was really amazing, impactful video. So look forward to that. Then we've got Eric Dimmack doing a live set. That was amazing. We've got Mike Scott, one of my colleagues from Goodwin. He's talking a little bit about the Building Better Opportunities projects that he works on and explaining a bit about the benefits of Tai Chi. Later on, we've got Backyard Casino doing an acoustic set, so look forward to that. Then we've got a couple of dance videos. Then we'll move on to some How to In 2 videos. So they were put together by one of my colleagues, Kerry White. Look forward to them. They're some videos on stuff that they're proficient in. It's like a skill sharing kind of thing. So they'll be on at about 9:05. And then we'll finish the day with Headliners Late Night Marauders. So, yeah, I mean, it's an ace lineup. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to get in touch with us, go to our Instagram, go to our Facebook, at Summer Shutdown Fest, and speak to us. Yeah, if you've got any questions, let us know, and we'll do our best to answer them. If you're enjoying it from home with a beer, take a picture, send it to us, and yeah, enjoy. So the first thing that we're going to do is introduce the Wish charity. So we're fundraising for a campaign they're running, and we'll show you a little bit more about the actual impact of that. But what we're going to do is start with a video that shows a little bit about what they do generally as a business. So if you want to play that.
Make a wish.
To play all day.
To have my arm mended.
To relive those moments all over again.
To travel in style.
To have the very best day of my life.
To breathe it all in and love every single moment.
We like to make wishes come true. Wish. Support us. Support our hospitals. Support them.
My name is Richard Ansett, and I'm a photographer, and I work with people, and I'm a portrait photographer, and I'm here in Hull because I have a very personal connection to Hull, because I created a series of work here called Are You My Mum? One of the reasons that motivates me as a photographer is my adoption from birth, and because I was adopted in 1966, I don't have any information about my parents and where I came from. That information wasn't made readily available. So my early life and in my interest in photography started as a way of me trying to connect to other people's lives and find an excuse really to have a poke about inside everyone else's life and see how they were doing it. There is that sense in the adopted psychology of potentially always either consciously or subconsciously having something missing or feeling dislocated. And I think my early relationship to photography was in a way of exploring what ordinariness was, what a normal life might be, that I was somehow extricated from and then placed into another life, which is parallel, a good life actually, a very good life, but a parallel life to the life I could have been on. And you're sort of wrenched away from that in a pre-memory as a baby, and then placed into another life, but you know that that's happened. And so photography, accidentally I stumbled across photography because I had great parents that threw everything at us to see what would stick. And photography seemed to be a very immediate way that created a response in me that I thought this was interesting. And I learned very quickly, without realizing that I was learning it, that I could explore other worlds and see how I fitted in relatively to that. So my portraits are very much me in the room with people. You don't see me, but they are portraits. So I will go to someone's house, and most often I'll go to someone's house and literally I'm in the room with the people and start to sort of look at what other people's lives were like. I didn't actually realise that this is what I was doing, by the way. This is all being a middle-aged man now. I've had time to think about it, and I go back and go, oh, that's what I do. At the time I was just fascinated by other people, but in hindsight it's very much a fascination with this idea of celebrating other people's lives relative to my own. So I was probably being quite hard on myself, but I was kind of like looking at other people's lives as a more complete version of my own, because I always felt incomplete. And that inspired a whole career in photographing other people. I think my personal opinion of art is a language that replaces normal language. So we can't find the words to express what we're feeling. We don't know why we feel like we do. And that includes people who may consider themselves not to be artists. Because many people feel dislocated, but they don't know why they feel dislocated. I'm very lucky. I have a reason to blame for my sense of dislocation. A lot of people are wandering around feeling dislocated, and they don't have that luxury of being able to label it as adoption. So in a way I'm a kind of a poster boy for everyone else's dislocation, which hopefully means that my work's more accessible beyond just my story. I can't talk for other artists, but I think art is a way of expressing ourselves in a way that we can't find a way to express in another way. So I think painting or photography or anything is a way of trying to find a voice where you couldn't find the language to communicate your feelings. And I think particularly, again, going back to the adoption experience, you don't realise the impact of being separated from your birth mother at an early age until you investigate how traumatic that is subconsciously. So you don't know that it's causing you issues. So if you're dislocated for another reason and you don't know why, there's so many other reasons where you may feel that you don't belong, and you want to find that voice, and maybe you don't have the education for it, maybe you haven't got the vocabulary to communicate, but you may want to, I don't know, find a way to communicate your feelings by spraying something on a wall or any other form of art. And it's when you find that artistic medium that screams out to you and says, yes, that's me, that's my voice, you continue to do it, and it's pathological. You keep returning to it. And actually the frustrating thing is that other people don't hear that voice initially. They don't understand that's you screaming. They just see your work. And actually, but over a long period of time, you kind of combine the two of learning to communicate what you're doing. I've worked very hard on myself to find out why and who I am, and the complexity behind my story that's led me to do this work. And it hasn't changed my work. It doesn't feel like it's changed my work. I think potentially it has, but I'm still doing the same dislocated work, the same responses there, even though I know so much more about myself. But I think introducing, like my parents did, to throw everything at you, to see what happens, to give people an opportunity to find their voice with a medium that suits them. It has enormous therapeutic value, because it gives you an opportunity to express yourself instead of having this bottled up pressure rising in you and not knowing where it's going that can limit you in your idea of what being a successful person could be. And I think it can really give you an opportunity, at the very least, just to depressurize from that feeling of not belonging. Of course, there's lots of movements like punk and stuff which goes out of its way to be sort of anti-establishment and nihilist, but that's a form of expression too. But I think we've moved on from that now, where people are now looking into mental health is now a more talked about sort of area, and we can now sort of be more specific about why we feel nihilistic rather than just be nihilistic or be anti-society. You know, politically, you might say, oh, you know, art's not important right now. We've got other important things to be focusing on. Whereas actually, there's a huge importance for people to be able to feel like they can express themselves, especially recently. I don't know if we could mention something like the need to express one's feelings in lockdown, when potentially you're trapped in a space with people that you may not feel that you can communicate your feelings to. You may be able to go into a room and do some very aggressive line drawing, or, you know, it is hugely valuable. There's two things that are valuable in my mind that art does, and in photography does specifically as an art form. One, it's the use to the artists themselves, and the other thing is the use to the subject. If you're photographing a subject, you're shining a light on somebody. You're literally saying, I see you, and you're saying, I hear you. Like you're saying, you're cared for, you're important. That's really important to do that. And some people don't want that. Some people really don't want that, but some people really do want that. And actually there's a reason why someone may not be ready for that either. But part of my practice now, having evolved through a more of a selfish practice of just me wanting to find out who I was through exploring other people, now I have made some progress with that myself. I see now that photography is more useful as a way of saying, I care about you, I'm interested in you. Ali My Mum is the ultimate project, whereas before I wasn't focusing in so much on myself. I was kind of, whilst my portraits are sort of about me in the sense of I'm in the room, they are always been about other people. My artistic practice was always about me exploring myself through the lives of other people. Ali My Mum was shining that spotlight on me and saying I'm valuable too, waking up to that realization that I had value and self-esteem and start to work on that. But also this, I've never been worried about or thought about my biological parents my entire life, up to a point in my mid-30s, and I started to think about my biological mother for the first time very late. Not that I wanted to meet her, but I thought that the only way that she could contact me or know me was if I opened the door. And I had chosen up to that point not to open the door. So I felt I started to have a difficult relationship to my unknown biological mother, because I thought I had a responsibility to open that door for her if she wanted that relationship. Which is not entirely honest, because clearly there was a part of me that would want that too, and I wasn't quite at that point ready to accept that. So I decided to go through the process of seeing what that felt like, and I employed a private investigator. I went to the council to get my file, and I got my original file, and you sit in this counselling room and you open the file and you look at stuff and you learn stuff, and funnily enough, the more you learn about your past, the less you really know. It's very confusing. So I eventually contacted a private investigator. They don't charge very much. It was not like Magnum. And we found out that my mother, we found out a few things, but we found out initially that my mother lived in Hull. Through a friend of a friend. It was very difficult to find her, but we found out that she lived in Hull. We didn't know exactly where she was or who she was, but we knew she lived in Hull. And then through that process, through the investigator, we sent some tentative explorations to make contact with her. And we asked how she felt about moving that process forward, and she very quickly said she didn't want anything to do with me. So that's very difficult to even say that now, weirdly. It's very strange because it's another rejection from the original subconscious rejection of being given away by that same person as a child. And you're like, oh, okay, fine. But my response to that was to somehow kind of deal with that emotion of that rejection, whilst completely totally respecting her views, was to try and find a way to deal with that. So I got on a train and I came to Hull to be in the city where she was. For no reason. It wasn't an art project at all. I just thought, right, I'll get on the train. I came up with some spurious excuse, but I basically got on the train and came up to Hull, and I was just in Hull, and it was the closest I could be to her without knowing her. And while I was here, I was just walking around, you know, potting around, looking at the city and just discovering the city. I started noticing old ladies of the age that she would be at. And I started to have this very strong emotional reaction to every old lady I saw, that it could be her. It's very powerful, and I'd just like to stress that it still happens now, coming up today. I got off the train, and there was an old lady with you know, one of those frames for walking. Literally, as I walked out of the station, there was an old lady there, and I immediately thought that could be my mother as I stepped out of the station today, which is why I come back here. So I cannot stress how emotionally connected I am to being here, because it's a place of almost knowing something. But it's so interesting to know that as a relatively sensible person, I'm making these very strange emotional connections to these people. So it wasn't going to be a project, but at that point I felt like I should record. I didn't bring a camera with me to Hull that first visit when I came to just be near her. So I went to a chemist, and it was actually before mobile phones, just before mobile phones, so it's quite a few years ago. So I got these instant throwaway windy cameras, and just started photographing, following ladies of a certain age, and photographing them around the city. Not saying hello to them, because also there was this distance, which was also artistically, it represented my fear of necessarily not being ready to even confront her directly. So they had a strange distance to them, sort of daring to be nearer but not. And I created this set of images, and then went back to wherever I was, London, and then sat on the images for ages, for years. And they just sat, and I think it's very, very personal. I just wanted them recorded. I think in terms of photography as an art form, it's such a difficult art form to do something emotionally with, because it's a solid object. It's a metal and glass, and you know, how do you communicate emotions through that? That's very difficult. And so I thought, when I was walking around looking at the old ladies, I was thinking, you know, oh, this would be probably a good photo project. I'll go back to London, come back and do it again. But there's something about acting in the moment, while you're still feeling those things, will change everything you do. It changes every response you have if you're feeling it in that moment. The angle you choose, everything. In the same way as it does a paintbrush on a canvas. So I got the cameras and I did it whilst I was feeling so emotional and raw about it, and created that series of pictures. And then years later, and I never did anything with it, and then years later Hull City of Culture came round. I thought, well, this is the time to do something with it. So at that point, I formed it into this like a series of like lost cat posters that you'd put up if you'd lost your cat. And I just created these A4 posters, and I just, for Hull City of Culture, I just, with no contact information on there at all. It just had all the pictures in these sleeves, and I just covered the city, a couple of hundred posters all over the city with "Are You My Mum?" with all these pictures of these old ladies all over the city for Hull City of Culture. And it wasn't about trying to find my mother still, because I had to respect her views, but it goes back to this idea of dislocation. It goes back to this idea that not knowing is okay, because sometimes you just don't know stuff, and there's no point just going crazy about that. Not knowing can be part of your life, and the project was really about that, about it being okay not to know something.
And we're back. That was Richard Ansett. Such an emotive interview. It was really touching, certainly for me. Let us know what you think on Facebook and Instagram. Because it was you that found him on it, Matthew.
It was, yeah. And I think the most remarkable thing about all of this is that he actually came down from London to film that. I mean, that's commitment, I think, for this. Incredible.
It is, and it's a moving story. But we'll keep it fast-paced, keep it moving. So the next video we're going to show you, it shows you all about the Do It project, which is the projects that I work on at Goodwin. And then we're going to move over to the another Wish charity video that really illustrates why we're fundraising and why we're doing this. So if you let's play it here. So there you go, two videos there. The first one was about the Do It project. As I say, that's a project I work on normally, but that's taking a bit of a backseat as we plan this festival. Matthew, do you want to explain a little bit about what's happened in the past 8 weeks, how this festival came to be, and a little bit about the process?
Okay. Well, I just said it was 8 weeks ago. It was barely nothing, and so, as you say, you started it up. We had meetings. We decided like exactly who we wanted, what type of things we want. We want music, we want artists, we want alternative stuff as well. And then we were given the task of go and find them. And maybe like a week later, came back. We got most of the artists we wanted, and then it was about trying to get them involved. And okay, like so many of them were like, yes, we want to get involved. And it was incredible and amazing. And so after that, it was like basically the planning of like deciding what like where it goes. Right, should we have this artist first, this artist second? And that was a difficult process because it was like we want as many as people as possible, and it was very hard to do that.
Sure. So maybe perhaps you won't mind me saying, but Matthew as well is a part of another project that we run called Create to Change. Now, Create to Change is a project that offers young people between the ages of 16 and 29 that are out of work opportunities within the creative industries. Now, 2.5 years ago, I was in the same position, long-term unemployed, really, and not in a good way at all. But through places like Goodwin, through projects like Create to Change, that's all turned around. So that's really why I wanted to illustrate through the Do It video a little bit about what we do. In the background behind the scenes, we've got Joe. Say hello, Joe.
Hello.
Hello. So Joe was a member of the Do It project and now does some freelance work with us. And I'm all right, actually. Ian running the tech. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Good lad. So yeah, this is something that really couldn't have happened without a load of great young people that we work with. Without the organisation that we work for, Goodwin, without Ian at Storyboard Media, without the spare room, that's where we're streaming from now, without ITSL, wait until we get to all of the recordings that we did we're alongside ITSL, and Ian who filmed it. They're phenomenal. They're really good. I can't wait for you to see them. So, if you've been watching since the beginning, you'll have seen that we're fundraising for a Wish charity campaign to build a sensory room at Hull Royal Infirmary. So, Matthew, how would people donate if they felt so inclined?
Yes, if you go onto our page on Facebook and go onto Summer Shutdown Fest, you'll find the link to where you want to do your donations.
Absolutely. And, thank you so much if you do. I know there's a lot of fundraisers going about, which, nice segue, brings me to the sesh. So, obviously, maybe not obviously, but if you're watching this, you probably know. Polar Bear and Welly, or VMS, I guess the administration, have gone into administration. So they've gone under. So the sesh have been doing live stream weekend nights from the Polar Bear. Now that that's gone, they're moving around, going to different venues. They've done it at the Warren. They did out Thieving Harry's. Does anyone know where's the next one going to be at? No, I'm not sure. We'll find that out. One of them though is going to be at Thornton Village Hall. That's part of Goodwin, and that's where we filmed all of the sets that we filmed. So you'll get an idea about what that might look like. So the next one that they've got is on Tuesday. It's with Fruit and Katie Spencer. Zoo Cafe. I'll be at Zoo Cafe. That's really, I suppose, not super important because you won't be able to go. I suppose it is because Zoo Cafe are helping. So yeah, it's good to know. In any case. So yeah, it'll be Fruit and Katie Spencer playing. So if you want to have a little bit of a taste about what that might look like, Fruit are playing for us on our own alternative stage on Sunday. And I won't tell you when. I mean, you can just have a look at the schedule. So that's pretty useless. In any case, check it out. So you'll be able to watch that from 8 o'clock on the Humber Street Sesh Facebook page. And let's do that. And of course, they are fundraising as well to make sure that they can keep these live streams running. So donate to them, donate to us, be skint for the rest of the month. You'll be all right. There's food banks out there. We run one, you know. Anyway, Matthew, how are you feeling? How's it going?
I think it's going actually fantastic.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, real good. So yeah, I mean, let's have a little bit of a review about what's gone on so far, because in the heat of the moment, I didn't introduce Richard Ansett, and that for me is one of the favourite interviews that we've done, you know, because it is so moving and impactful. For those of you that haven't seen it, you'll get an opportunity to, after the festival's over, you know, we'll upload a lot of these videos. But basically, he was adopted, and then when he got to, you know, 30 odd, he decided, he had that impulse to find out a bit more about his birth mum, you know, and then went through that process. And when City of Culture 2017 came along, he came up to Hull and put out like cat posters. There's a cat style posters. Well, are you my mum? And just pictures of all these old ladies. But yeah, the interview really captures it beautifully. It's a really moving thing. It's still coming up. Do you want to give us a snapshot, Matthew, on what we've got to expect?
Yes, well, we've got some incredible dance videos coming up.
Nice.
Yes. We've got an interview by Mike Scott.
Yeah.
And one of the things possibly I think everybody's looking forward to, me especially, is Late Night Marauders.
Yeah, Late Night Marauders are race. Really good. And on top of that, we've got Backyard Casino at 8:20 here. They did a real nice acoustic set for us. Yeah, as you say, the dance videos and these how to into videos. And they're really nice. Again, it's creatives and businesses from around Hull, you know, are representative for them. And they'll demonstrate something that they're good at, you know, whether that's baking bread, basic macaron. I can't remember some of. You had a look at some of these, did you? Or was it John?
It was John.
It was John on it, yeah. Because basically, during the festival planning process, basically what we was doing is I was saying to members of the group, will you research this? Will you have a look at this? You know, just sharing the load, you know, because it's a festival and we had 8 weeks to do it. But yeah, you found Richard Ansett.
Yes.
And I want to come back to him because it really is one of my favourite pieces that we've done. Just because it was you that found him on it. Can you explain a little bit about what struck you about his work and why you thought that should have been featured?
Well, just the fact that he tried to find his mum, and that initially drew it to me. And it's such a sad but also kind of maybe uplifting story as well, because although the circumstances, he's been able to have an incredible career throughout photography. And plus, I think his photography is completely unique as well. And that's what drew me. And I think to have his voice in this festival, I thought we should have had him, and I'm glad we do.
I agree completely. Now, it's worth giving a shout out as well to Jordan Escreet. So he's been working with me to do these interviews. And I know Richard Ansett is his favourite, and quite rightly so, because it's like a mini documentary. And again, it's, you know, it's emotive and it's impactful. And what's funny about that is I initially gone to do the interviews myself, filming them. I don't know about filming. I don't know how to use a camera. But I thought, oh yeah, it can't be that hard, can it? You just turn the camera on and point it towards somebody. And that, it don't work. It looked awful. It was really bad. And then brought Geordie in. And the difference was staggering. So then the first person that I recorded was Clint Wasslin. He's a poet, and he'll be featured tomorrow. Look out for that, because that's a really nice interview. I mean, I would say that, wouldn't I? But it was. And then me and Jordan had to go back and say, I'm really sorry, you're gonna have to do it again, because the difference, the contrast was just too great. But yeah, thanks again, Geordie. It really helped us raise the bar. Really good stuff. Late Night Marauders, obviously, as you mentioned, there's someone who you're looking forward to. Is there anyone else in the lineup that you can? I know in the heat of the moment, you might not remember everyone who was on, but
Well, not today.
no.
Even though these are incredible people.
Yeah, it's particularly specially looking forward to.
But
yeah.
this may be biased because I helped find her.
Sure.
But I am actually looking forward to Anna Bean.
Anna Bean,
Yes.
yeah, really, really good. It was a really nice interview, and that was actually the first one that me and Geordie did together, and it was really good. It was really good. It's nice as well because we've got an interview with her, and then it cuts to a commissioned piece of work that she did for Absolutely Cultured, and then a music video that she did with the Dear Sister. So yeah, that is one to look forward to. I think for me, Holy Orders. I mean, like, ever since I was in my first awful punk band, Snubnose 44, shout out, we'd support them every now and then. They're just nice people, the race. And Cooper, the drummer, is one of the best drummers in all, which is why at any one given time is in 11 different bands. So shout out to Cooper if you're watching this. Good lad. Yeah, we're nearly at a point where we're going to move on. We've got Mike Scott doing an interview really soon. So he's one of my colleagues who works on the Building Better Opportunities project. And he's great at what he does. And he was a social worker that moved over to community development. It's just such a warm, empathic man. And you'll see that because Geordie's really captured it really nicely in this interview. You look. Have you met Mike?
I don't think I have.
No, he's a good lad.
Yeah.
So he does Tai Chi. He's really proficient at Tai Chi, and it's really good for well-being, really good for mindfulness, and you'll get an idea about that because he explains a little bit about that. As he says, it's been it's been practiced for like 3,000 plus years. So one of the things that Goodwin does is that kind of a project, and BBO is all about social inclusion, for those that are isolated essentially, and for people 25 plus. So it's really nice when he explains what a positive outcome is for them, and sometimes it's like in what seems intangible, or it's certainly hard to measure. That might be the building of confidence. And Mike, Ruth, Emma, Jeanette, the whole team there, they're amazing at what they do. Look forward to that. And I think we should pass over to Mike.
I do agree. I agree.
When you're ready, Ian.
Hi, my name's Mike Scott. I work for the Goodwin Development Trust, and we run a whole host of different projects and services. We've got affordable social housing, we've got children's nurseries, we have a food pantry for people on low incomes, we have a community cafe, we have employability projects, and a whole host of other things. There's all sorts going on. I work for Building Better Opportunities, and we work with people who are over 25 and who are unemployed, and our role is primarily to engage those people living out in the community and upskilling them, building their confidence, getting qualifications, voluntary work experience, and ultimately, if they're ready for it, into paid work. The first thing that we need to do is just find out a bit about that person, and the more we know about them, the more we can help them, support them to meet their needs. And their needs could be anything from getting out of the house and socialising, or support with applying for jobs or looking for jobs, that kind of thing. So every day there's new challenges depending on who walks through the door and what they need from us. One in particular is a guy who came to see us some time ago now, probably 18 months ago, and massively depressed, suffering from depression. Been out of work for a long time, seemed pretty hopeless, and he came to see us regularly over a period of quite a few months. And anyway, long story short, he got himself a job, and it delighted the whole team, not least him as well. And he pops in to see us from time to time, and he's always got a good word to say, and it's lovely to see him moving on with his life, and you can see it's quite tangible, the positive changes that he's undergone. The way we would approach people who have like very low self-esteem, very poor motivation, is around initially the engagement process. So that can be something quite simple, like we have like cookery sessions or cookery demonstrations where people might want to come along and have a look at what we do and maybe take part if they're feeling up to it. We have like games afternoons where people come in and just play board games. Very, very low level stuff just around engaging people and getting them involved. We do have events from time to time which we'd invite people to as well. And we always say that people can bring a family member or a friend along as well in that first instance. And that first meeting that we have might just be a cup of coffee and a chat with no paperwork, just a case of getting to know them and making them feel okay. A good outcome for us could be somebody moving into voluntary work, somebody moving into further education, paid work, that kind of thing. But for certain individuals, it can be that thing that's difficult to measure. Increased motivation, increased social networks, increased positive attitude, that kind of thing. So, for some people that's incredibly important. Well, it's for all of us, but some people need to build that before they can move on to the next steps. A part of the raft of offers that we've got focuses around wellbeing, the physical and mental wellbeing. So a part of that is Tai Chi. So I run Tai Chi sessions, blocks of 6 to 8 weeks, and that is for anybody. Anyone can come along. You don't have to be experienced, you can be an absolute beginner. And Tai Chi is great for physical and mental well-being, good for managing stress, anxiety, that kind of thing, but also can help lower your blood pressure, keep you supple, etc. We have an allotment project so people can busy themselves growing food, learn how to grow food. Ties in nicely with the broader themes of sustainability as well, because it's local food. So we teach them skills around how to propagate seedlings, how to look after plants, and then ultimately taking veg and fruit home with them. So there's that as well. And then we've also got on a Friday a food pantry. And the food pantry is predominantly, we get most of the food from Fair Share, the charity Fair Share, but we do get donations from Asda and Tesco and members of the public. And the way that works, it's a membership scheme, so people can join us, and for £3 they get about £15 worth of food. And it's all good food, and we try to make sure when we put the order in every week that we get the healthiest food available. So there's always fresh fruit and veg, we get fish, meat, eggs, that kind of thing. And again, it serves a dual purpose, because they're getting good food at a cheap price, but also they're engaging with us and they're engaging with other people. So it's an opportunity for us to get to know them and perhaps offer them something that might help them move forward with their lives. During lockdown, obviously it's been a challenge for us, as it has been for everybody. But what we've managed to do is we've changed some of the workshops so that they are online based. So we have classes, ESOL classes, which can be a mixture of videos, which Jeanette, one of the team, runs ESOL videos and posts those online. But she'll also do WhatsApp sessions with individuals. We've had puzzles put online, we've had recipes, different challenges for people. So a lot of that stuff is there online for people to take part in. And also, because we've been running the pantry every week, it's been that we've been able to maintain that social contact. So for us, it's just been a case of being able to chat to people and update them on what's going on, and they can tell us how they're doing. But yeah, and I've been streaming live Tai Chi sessions as well, because we've all been experiencing a bit of frustration, stuck in the house and what have you. So a little bit of exercise and managing that anxiety, that stress is very helpful to all of us. I would say to anybody who's interested in getting involved, get in touch with us, even if it's just for an informal chat. And you can access us through Facebook, we're on Twitter, or you can actually contact the Goodwin, and we'll be there to talk to you. But as I say, in the first instance, all you have to do is pick the phone up, or you could email us, whatever, just find out a bit more about us. Tai Chi is at least 3,000 years old. There's been evidence found in ancient China, and it has its roots in Chinese martial arts. And essentially it's been adopted as a means of promoting and maintaining mental and physical well-being. So Tai Chi is about relaxation, and it's about being in the present moment. There's a lot of talk at the moment about mindfulness, and Tai Chi is very much a mindful activity. So what it is, it's a very gentle form of exercise. There's no exertion. It's very good for the joints and suppleness and flexibility. But importantly, it's good for the mind as well. So if people are suffering from stress and anxiety, it's a good way of clearing the mind. And the way that works is just by focusing on the exercise and on the breathing and what you're doing in that specific moment. So a typical class would be, we do warm-ups, and that's just gentle stretches. Then we do breathing exercises. And we also do something called Kai Men, which is similar to breathing exercises, but it's in 2 parts, which, like, the second part just requires a little bit more physical exertion, a little bit more stretching. And we also do Qigong exercises. So Qigong is around developing the energy within our bodies, which the ancient Chinese believed that Qi energy is a healing energy that's present in every living thing. So the whole idea of Tai Chi is about freeing up this energy in our bodies and just promoting our physical and mental well-being. You can study Tai Chi for as long as you like. I've studied for about 15 years, and I still feel like there's so much to learn. But having said that, you can maybe do 8 or 10 lessons and go away with something that's going to benefit you. So I would say to anybody, you know, if you're thinking about it, just come and give it a go. There's no wrong and right. It's just kind of anybody can come along. You don't have to be skilled or experienced, and I'll talk you through all the exercises. And I keep them quite basic because I'm aware that this is very much for beginners and people who've maybe not tried it before.
Mike Scott there of Goodwin and Tai Chi fame. Real good lad, real good. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, because again, really insightful. You know, it's one of the things that I really wanted to capture with these videos. What we wanted to capture with these videos is, you know, the really great work that some of the people do around the city. I suppose, in particular, from my biased perspective, what Goodwin does, because we're a huge organisation. You know, we've got nurseries, we've got a youth centre, employability projects, social inclusion projects, food pantry. We've got a veterans hub. You know, we're a social housing provider. Excuse me. Yeah, so we do quite a lot. So it's nice to illustrate that a little bit. Now, one of the reasons that we wanted to put on this online festival, I think you agree with this, Matthew, is because so much has been cancelled. You know, like On the Street Sesh for me it's a musician's Christmas. You know. Aside from Christmas, but then I never really liked Christmas anyway. My grandma will tell you that. On the Street Sesh is ace. In fact, there was a couple of years through Goodwin where I had to work for him. Not work for Humber Street Sesh, work for Goodwin at Humber Street Sesh. And then last year I was like, come on, don't make me work it. Like, let me enjoy it and go wild. So shout out to them. You know, without for sure, Mark Page, the Sesh, Humber Street Sesh, this won't be happening, you know, and it's really relying on, we're standing on the shoulders of many giants. Is there in particular that you're gutted that we're going to have to miss this year?
Well, I do really like, you know, the Sesh, but for me particularly, it has to be Hull Fair. I mean, it's a tradition for me and my family, well, not all the family, but members of my family and my friends to go to fair, and it's not going to happen here because the last year has not been so great.
Where else are you going to get a coconut?
Yeah, exactly. And all the donuts, the rides, everything is just not going to be there, and it just makes me just sad.
Sure. I'll tell you what I won't miss, Brandy Snap. I know that's going to be controversial, but it's rank. Yeah, I don't know why people like that. Pomegranates are good. I go wild for them. But then it's opening them and eating the pips. That should be easier. Anyway, all fair is good, and we're probably going to miss it. So yeah, it's a good answer. The one thing that I always, and you're supposed to struggle with it, I suppose, but I always feel like I could do it every time. The ladder thing. Do you know what I mean? And then you're going up the ladder and you've got to balance yourself, but you end up flipping over. What else will I miss? BB guns. I remember loving them when I was a kid.
But my favourite thing always to end on at Hull Fair is the ride where you have to like hang on.
Oh, it's like a disc.
Yeah, it's like a disc.
And I'm sure about. And everyone ends up in the middle, and there's like phones and like keys and stuff all over.
Every time I've gone so far, that's always what I finished on, and it's just such a rush.
Yeah, I'm a little bit wet though. I've always been scared of rides.
Not me. I love rides.
Oh well.
Yeah. I know. I'm
sorry,
sorry.
stunt man. Yeah. No, it's always terrified me.
It's fair.
Yeah. But I think, to be fair, if the wind is too strong, I get a nosebleed. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. But I think I am going to go to Alton Towers at some point soon. And we're really digressing from the festival. But in any case, so that's partly why we wanted to do it, because we're missing out on loads of this stuff. But yeah, here we are. So I hope you're enjoying it. We'll be running it for the rest of the weekend. We've got Saturday 4 till 10, Sunday 4 till 10. You'll be loving it. So I've got a really short clip here, and then we'll come back to us talking Bab. And it's an ESOL video. So one of the services that we do is for refugees, give them the opportunity to learn how to speak English, which is obviously really significant for them. Quite a lot of them are coming from really problematic places, to say the least. So Ian, can we see that video, please? And we're back. It was your standard charity video that pulls on heartstrings and demonstrates a little bit about what we do. But as I say, we work with the refugee community and teach them English basically. So that was what that demonstrated. Sorry it didn't come out particularly well. I'm sure we'll fix that. That'll be all right. So what's next? One of the things I haven't done enough actually is mentioned about donating. Now I'm going to have a little look here where we're at so far. Nice little donation update. Because we're aiming to get 500 quid, which is a fairly modest amount here, but it'll have a huge impact. So I'm on our Just Giving page now. If you search Summer Shutdown Fest into Just Giving, you'll find our page. We're at 28% of the target, 144 quid. So considering we're right at the start of the festival, I'm happy with that, mate. I'm good. Absolutely agreed. Getting there, aren't we? So please, if you can, donate. And we can have a little look here. Now, if you didn't want to be outed as being a donator, then you should have stayed anonymous. So now I'm going to out you for donating. The first one, Alex Goldgrave. I mean, that's my mate. He just did me a solid there. And obviously he cares about the cause, of course. So cheers for that, Al. Good lad. Anonymous, respect that. Not that I don't respect people that are anonymous. And then we've got Sharon Hitchmore. Best wishes from the Wirral. Nice. Well, nice. And also congratulations if you support the right team. Christina, that's probably my mum. Cheers, mum. Kerry and Jason Record, real nice. So Kerry's one of our colleagues, and actually she works on Two-Way Street, and they support black minority communities and in particular refugees, and plays a big part in teaching English as a second language. And the impact of that is huge. She really goes like above and beyond. She's a great key worker. So Indy Taylor. Real nice. Indy, this is a real nice one for me because Indy's a member of the Do It project. She's crucially a member of the festival planning team, and she's been ace. She's been ace all the way through. And I think she might have been persuaded to join me in presenting on Sunday because of how good this looks. So cheers, Indy. Kerry Dimmack, presumably Eric's mum. Thank you, Kerry. Real nice. And Kirsty, almost certainly my sister. Thank you, Kirsty. And thank you for watching. Real nice. Now let's have a bit of a time check. So we're 17 minutes past 8. And if we have a look at our schedule, we've got a couple of minutes to fill. What are you saying?
What was I saying? Well,
I'm sorry, mate. I put you in an awful position.
It's such a fun.
No.
Well, I had to just say that thank you for all the people who have donated, because I know that in this time it's very stressful for everybody, and it could be very difficult to donate, as I said, at this time. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for donating.
No, fully, thank you. Another thing that's really nice about it for me is that basically, well, again, like I mentioned earlier, one of the reasons that we wanted to put this on is to give people something good to look forward to. One of the big things for me is that really on in lockdown, like me as a community development practitioner, Goodwin as an organisation, and the Do It project as the projects that I work on, I think we reacted quickly, really well to the situation. So we was having Zoom meetings really just to make sure that we're at least still connected to the people that we work with. But really, really quickly, I was getting frustrated because I was like, where's the substance though? Where's the why of why we're meeting? And, the conversation maybe should have been enough. And I think it would have been to a certain degree. But then it's like, let's do something ambitious, let's do something really meaningful. I have something really good to focus on. And it's certainly been that. It's certainly been challenging. And, for me, that's where the meaning of life comes from. Not to get too heavy, but by being challenged, by, taking up as much responsibility as you can shoulder. And it's been good for us.
And as you say, it's been a challenge, and we're not professionals. Well, I would say that you're in eventing, so I would say that you're there. But the team who has put this together, they're not professionals. I'm not a professional event planner or anything like that. So to be able to do something like this, be part of something like this, and so far it looks like it's been pulled off pretty well. I'm over the moon.
Good. No, you're quite right to be. And again, I think this comes back to a sort of punk ethos, I think. Because a lot of this looks fairly slick, but it's just, let's just do it. Let's just try it. Let's just do our best, And I'm proud of what we're achieving here.
Me too.
Yeah.
I cannot agree more. So,
yeah. No, good. So, here we are. It's 8:20, and now we're going to cut to Backyard Casino's acoustic set. Cheers, Ian.
Line by line I say one thing to another, forget about the others, cause life is ticking over, and I say right back, but the crack is coming up, you know that I'm gonna be there when I see the clock strike 10, and a couple of men are trying to start shit again on the streets tonight. I don't mind if you don't, you know me, I'll just show you a good time. I said please don't let me down, because I'm not coming around with a mad face, not on my face. You know me, I'm feeling crazy, I don't wanna hear maybe, so let me just come by with you, because it's line by line. I don't mind, cause I think you might find that it's line by line. You're crazy sometimes, I don't mind, cause you spend my time going line by line. undercover, but I'm still your lover. It's a shame how you play your games, don't even know your name. So take a ride with me, you know I'll set you free. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I lose control. You know me, and that's the way I roll. And I don't care if I lose my head. Just stick with me, and we gon' fly instead. Islamabad, 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 Islamabad. Islamabad, 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 Islamabad. I don't mind, 'cause you think you're my fine. That Islamabad, you're crazy sometimes, but I don't mind, 'cause you spend my time going Islamabad. Ooh, 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 ooh. Northern everyone, we are at Backyard Casino. First time me and Gaz been playing together since lockdown kicked off, so it's nice to be back in the room together.
It is.
That one was Line by Line, that was our first ever single. Bit of a classic if you've ever seen us live. Hopefully if you haven't seen us, you'll see us when all this has gone away. This next one's called Sunny Days. 1, 2, 3, 4. The sunny days, they stay the same. As to eyes, you wear the pain again. Saw the joy and laughter around the streets. Made me realize there's still so much to see. So you said you feel down, and you can't get yourself around. There's something happening, life's for living with no regrets, my friend. Took you back to the other side, found an angel, she taught me how to fly. I go and take a walk outside, reminisce on how the days gone by. And now you know it's crazy just to think of how I've changed. And colors brighten as I'm feeling lightened each and every day. Now you just can't get enough, 'cause you know there's no point giving up. There's something happening, life's for living with no regrets, my friend. Took you back to the other side, found an angel, she taught me how to fly. Yeah. Sunny Days. That is meant to be our next new single, so hopefully you'll be hearing that one pretty soon. This next one is called Give a Little. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look me deep in the eyes, and what you will see is a man still deep into reality. So if you take my hand, one thing you must understand is that I don't believe in impossibilities. But oh, I try so hard to let you know that I won't let go this time. But there's so much I'd like to tell you, but I can't find the words to say. But all I'm asking is, oh, will you just give a little to me? Just give a little to me. 'Cause we're singing from the same sheet, dancing to the new beat, trying to find somewhere to go. Just give a little to me. I'm not your common type, I'll read between the lines, and then we'll find that 2 + 2 makes 5. So I apologize if I'm not reading the signs. Sometimes I wish that I could just read your mind. See, I'm split in 2, from the guy with you to the one who holds all the cards. But the time will come to play the hand and take a chance how life feels right. But all I need to know is, oh, will you just give a little to me? Just give a little to me. Because we're singing from the same sheet, dancing to the new beat, trying to find somewhere to go. Just give a little to me. 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 This next one's called Silent Type. He started as nothing, he thought she was pretty, but he wasn't something. Now he's in her mindset thinking that she is a bit too thin. And he's never liked the graph because he's fucking lazy. All the boys will tell him that he's proper crazy, but when he's out to drink his inhibitions go on holiday. And now he's past the point of caring. He sways over grasping to the world he's bearing. All he wants to know is what she's thinking. But her mate says she's the silent type. He's trying not to bite. She don't talk. She won't talk to him tonight. At times he sees she's a bit flirty. He's starting to think that she's a little dirty. She's a cold ice queen, she never gives no away. But when there's a tension, she's flaking. He questions, what's a man to do? His head's out the game now. He don't think that he can see it through. He's sick of all the back and forward. Still it's on his mind, but he tries to ignore her. All he wants to know is what she's thinking. But her mate says she's the silent type. He's trying not to bite, but she don't tell. She don't tell. All he wants to know is what she's thinking. But her mate says she's the silent type. He's trying not to bite, but she don't tell. She won't talk to him tonight. Silent type. This has come through with the lightning. I wake up too fast, so I go out to bed with non-existent dreams rolling around in my head. I got one shot to make people see the resurrection of the light will set them free. And there's a time and a place to sit on the fence when you're speaking the truth. It's not arrogance, you gotta take go to what's yet to come. There's no way you'll stop until you reach the sun. I come through with the lightning, I fall by with a star. I tell fast to the vision, and then I move a line. 'Cause what you see is what I am, and what I am is the master plan. And all the hope and the glory sent by me your eyes, yeah. Stop the clocks, 'cause it's getting late. Town of empty streets, silence radiates. Nothing more here for me to do. For now I'll keep my eyes straight as I'm walking through. I come through with the lightning, I fall by with a storm. I tell fast to the vision, then I move along. 'Cause what you see is what I am, and what I am is the master plan. And all the hope and the glory sent about me your eyes, yeah. on the wild side. Spending the money that I've not got is fascination. Living a life that's full of temptation. Take a walk on the wild side. Spending the money that I've not got is fascination. Living a life that's full of temptation. Come through with lightning, fall by with a star. I tell fast for the vision, and then I move along. 'Cause what you see is what I am, and what I am is the master plan. And all the open the glory, set upon me, yeah, yeah. Thank you. We are Backyard Casino. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Find us on all the Spotify, iTunes, all the streaming links. We've had a great time. Hope you enjoyed it. We are Backyard Casino.
And we're back, Backyard Casino there. So that's the first video we've shown that was recorded by us upstairs at Thornton Village Hall. And obviously that was an acoustic set. Wait till you see the full band sets as well. You know, that was an ace set, but there's something about, you know, a full live band just going wild, particularly early orders. Chris Massey, good lad, sweating like mad, proper shredding it, real nice. You'll be looking forward to that. I think it's time for a couple of shout outs, because some of you have been interacting with us over Facebook and Instagram. Keep on doing that. We've got Kerry White on the controls on the Facebook, spamming everybody. Thank you, Kerry, for your hard work, it says. Matthew, do you want to go through a couple of
Yes,
these?
so we have Lloyd says, we're rocking this. Well, that's good, isn't it?
I do believe he said, OMG, we're rocking this. It's like 40, do you know what I mean? Anyway, go on.
Terrible. We've got Andy who says, fab work, guys. Keep going. Super team, putting this together. Oh, thanks, Andy.
Nice.
And we also got Kerry who says, we're doing a belt of a job. Oh, thank you, Kerry.
Well, nice. I've got a couple here. Katie says, Richard Ansett, I mentioned earlier. Richard Ansett on Self was amazing. And keep up the good work. Real nice. Joe says he's not biased, but we're doing amazing. He's loving everything, and that was the new Ant and Deck. I'll take it as a compliment. Cheers, Joe. So my feeling is that, seeing as there's a Joe sat right there, and he just pointed to himself, maybe he is a little bit biased. But thank you, Joe. Real nice. And this one is really, really amazing. Right, so you'll recall, if you was paying attention, that before Backyard Casino went on, I gave an update on how the fundraising's going, right? And was at 28%, which was 144 quid. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give a shout out first of everybody that's donated and the messages that they've done. So we've got Muzzy, didn't leave a message, just donated 20 quid. Thank you, Muzzy. Scott, doing a really good job, enjoying all of the content. Always love it when I walk into Goodwin building. Always made to feel welcome. That's so nice. £10 with a £2.50 gift aid. Andy, great festival and cause. Great to see young people showing how it's done. Well done, everyone. I mean, I'm banging on 30, so I'm not sure about me. But, yeah, for sure, it is to see it. Leon Johnson, heyo! You misspelled your name, it's Leon Johnson. I love you, mate, thank you. 20 quid and £5 gift aid. Cheers, mate, you're a good lad. KM, do we know KM?
Oh, KM, that is my mother. And she's also donating with my dad, Mark McGowan. So, Mum, Dad, thank you so much for donating.
Really nice, thank you. And then we've got Mark, great idea for a great cause. Good luck with the rest of the festival. I've just had a message saying don't mention how much people have donated. Good point. And then Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous. You're the best. Real nice. Unless it's a different type of Anonymous, then I won't go into that. So with all of the donations that we've had, where are we at? 65%. That's wild. We're not yet through our excuse me. We're not yet through the whole of the first day. 65% of our 500 target. That's 329 quid. So thank you so much, everybody. If you feel moved to donate more, it's so appreciated. Go to the Just Giving website, search Summer Shutdown Fest. Go to the About Us on our Facebook. Really nice, thank you. You'll see a link there. So I mentioned Indy earlier, and she's going to help us out, as I say, with some presenting on Sunday. And she's into dance, she's into choreography. And as part of the festival planning team, she came up with the idea of having some dance. So the next one is from Jessica Chambers. It's a show reel of her dance, and it's so nice. It's really good. So there'll be a bit of dance featured every day. Now, still to come, we've got the dance video I mentioned. We'll give you an idea again from the Wish charity video about exactly why we're doing this. You know, why it's important. And then we'll have 20-minute segment from the disability projects that it's actually run by a couple of different partners across Hull FC, Hull KR, Goodwin. There's a couple more that elude me. But yeah, Kerry White leads it for Goodwin. And this was a great project where, as I say, she goes to different businesses and asks them to do a 2-minute video in something that, you know, matters to them, or sort of like a skill that they can share. So, you know, it's fast-paced, really engaging stuff, really nice. I think actually Lucy Clark does one. This is real nice. We got contacted by Lucy Clark from BBC Radio Humberside earlier on, and she's going to give us a little bit of a push on Sunday. So thank you for that, Lucy. Really nice. So yeah, as I say, tomorrow 4 till 10. You can watch it. Sunday it's 4 till 10 as well, isn't it? And we've got like 4 different stages still to come. Can you remember what stages we've got?
Well, the one I'm mainly looking forward to is the alternative stage.
Yeah.
That's going to be...
And that's on Sunday. And then what's real nice as well, Freedom Road Creative Arts tomorrow during the day. That's the first stage from 4 till 7, excuse me. And honestly, some of the talented young people for that stage were absolutely phenomenal. Really blew me away. And you'll look forward to that. You'll be gobsmacked by it. It's really good stuff. Okay, so next one, Jessica Chambers with their show reel dance video. Take it away, Ian. And we're back. There you go, Jessica Chambers. Real nice, that, isn't it? And it's good to have dance represented, in one of these festivals. I think Indy was really right to mention it. Quite often it can be overlooked, but it's a really emotive and amazing art form. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. As I said, there'll be more dance coming up. So one of the things that we'll be showing you again is the video from the Wish charity. So I want to explain a little bit more about that and how it was moving to us there, and why we chose Wish charity. Because basically we thought when we was putting on the festival, when we was creating this content, well, we could fundraise. Why don't we? And Goodwin, of course, is a charity itself. We could have fundraised for ourselves. But there was something about the lockdown period, I think, which, particularly early on, and we hope to sustain this a little bit, it's that sense of community, the sense of togetherness, and the Wish charity really, sorry, I've just seen a message from on it. It's really thrown me off. Where am I? Wish charity. There we go. So they're really good because they support Hull's hospitals. They're an independent charity working in support of Hull's hospitals. Here we go. New donation. Cheers, Daniel. Your writing's awful, mate. Yeah. Is it Daniel Roche? Daniel, you know who you are. Cheers, mate.
To be fair with the writing, I had to just say that I've got doctor's notes.
Doctor's writing.
Yeah.
Surgeon's writing. Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm with you. So in any case, I was talking about something really important there, wasn't I? Because it's why we're doing the thing. So Wish charity. They were the charity that sort of appealed to us because it's we're in this pandemic. There's a lot of ththings going on there, and we wanted to support the hospitals. I'm so sorry. I'm going to move my phone over there. So they do loads of great work. Now, one of these campaigns that they're running, it's to build a sensory room at Hull Royal Infirmary, and that will really, really deeply impact the kids that visit it that have additional needs. I guess more specifically neurodiversity, so that might include autism, ADHD, ADD. They can have a sensory overload, which all of us can sometimes. But the waiting rooms can be really stressful. By building this sensory room, it gives them a chill place where they're safe and they can relax and eventually be seen. Ultimately, this is the thing. The absence of the sensory room means that a lot of these children don't end up getting seen when they need to be seen by a doctor. So, if you feel moved to donate, I'll say it again. Go to our Just Giving page, search Summer Shutdown Fest into the Just Giving website or Google it, whatever. And thank you so much for donating. As I say, we're doing so well already, and we're nearly at our target. Can I get a time check, please? Because I've had to move my phone. 8:50. Nice. Okay. That's how we got to the Wish charity thing, didn't we? Can you tell us a bit more about? I guess the festival planning process, what it's meant to you, on a personal level.
Well, I guess on a personal level, it's meant a lot to me because, as I say, in lockdown coming, I didn't know what I was going to do because I started on a placement here, and then I wasn't sure how that's going to go, where it would end, how long it would take for me to go back onto it, whatever. So, being able to still do the placement at home, but being able to do this, it's really given me a purpose. And as I say, it's such a good cause. So please donate, because doing this, it melts my heart, and I really want this to go well.
And Pat, thank you so much for that, because you're so right. It would have been easy, I suppose, to have wallowed in the situation. Not just for you as somebody who was on one of our projects. And I suppose this is the way that I approach it as a practitioner, because it was moments ago, as far as I'm concerned, that I was in the same position. looking for work, looking for opportunities, and Goodwin has certainly provided that. So your placement is going well, considering, by the sounds of it.
Yes, exactly. And I think this is a major part of it, but I think other parts of it as well is going well, but this has been one of my favourite things I've done.
Yeah, no, that matters a lot. And this is the other thing as well. So as I say, where the projects I work on, my job title is key worker, but I'm not a key worker. It's a weird thing. But in any case, I work on a project called Do It Project. And it's for people that are aged between 16 and 29 that are out of work, that are looking for opportunities for whatever reason. Maybe they're not finding the job that they want, for such a wide range of reasons. And we work with people in so many different stages and phases, educational abilities and all the rest of it. So if you're in that position yourself, you can see some of the amazing stuff that we can do. And we see for your assets, what you're able to give rather than, as a problem to be fixed. Certainly that was my experience when I was one of the projects. Has that been yours? Yeah. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, you can't really say no when I put the words in your mouth like that, to be fair.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah, no, good. No, honestly, it's been a pleasure to work with you. It really has.
Yeah.
We're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there. So, time check, 2 minutes. Yeah, real nice. So I think what I'm going to have to do is put my phone on airplane mode, because it was vibrating loads and it popping up, and it made this car crash segment. So real nice. Cheers,
mate. Wish it away.
Real nice. All right. So what I'm going to do is to put myself out of my misery. Is cut a little bit early to the eye hospital vid. Cheers, Ian.
We see a lot of children on the eye clinic every week, and some of them just can't manage in our busy waiting area. It's very loud, and sometimes they fail to be seen because they haven't managed. The sensory room would be really good, just a place where they can relax, chill out before they get seen, and then hopefully we won't have as many children that have to come back again, or maybe even have to have a general anaesthetic to be seen. Naomi also works with us on the clinic, but her son is seen here as well, and so from a parent's perspective as well, it would be really helpful.
Yeah, my son has severe learning disabilities, so coming to appointments can be quite a stressful time for him. So it's different surroundings and noise which can really make him quite stressed. So having a sensory room would be a fantastic idea, because it'd be a place where they can relax while they're waiting for the turn to be called in to appointments.
It just seems a shame that some children don't get seen because they can't cope in this area. It would be nice if we could change it to be a little bit more inclusive of everybody.
My name's Lee Bond. I'm the Chief Finance Officer at the hospital. I'm currently training, I use that term lightly, loosely, to run the London Marathon at the end of April. Today I'm about to try and run up the whole of the tower block, which is 13 floors, 26 flights of stairs.
from the sensory room team. I'm not sure how to get out of the morning. Thank you very much. I hope
And we're back. Hey up, you alright? Did that move you? If so, why don't you donate? Go to our Just Giving page, Summer Shutdown Fest. Give it a search onto Google. And thank you so much everybody who's donated so far. It really means a lot. And can I take this moment to have a go at my older sister, Kirsty Redding. Kirsty Redding, cheers mate. So, you know, in the last segment, when I was losing my head because my phone was distracting me, I need to have my phone on because I'm looking at the clock. We've got a tight schedule to stick to, and she's messaging me going, stop looking at your phone, stop reading your phone. Cheers, Kirsty. But thank you for watching, I love you. And thank you for donating. Also, so yeah, real nice. What's coming up next? We've still got the How to Into videos. Explained a bit about that, and then headliners, Late Night Marauders. So that's going to be us. I've mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. The Sesh Weekly Night every Tuesday is now moving around the city, going to different venues. Now on Tuesday, it's going to be at Zoo Cafe. You'll be able to stream that from their Facebook page and the Humber Street Sesh Facebook page from 8 o'clock on Tuesday. Give that a go. It'll be ace. Got Katie Spencer and the Fruit, who are playing for us on Sunday as well. But they'll have a longer set for the sesh, and it will be proper live rather than pre-recorded live. So give it a go, because that'll be ace. And they're also fundraising as well. So I won't talk too much about that because we've got our own targets to achieve. But give them some money because they deserve it. Is somebody at the door? No, okay. So Matthew, how are you feeling? How's it going?
I think it's gone so good so far.
Real nice, isn't it? Yeah. Have you ever been to Pave?
Pave?
Pave, yeah. Some pretty have.
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah, this is one of the places that you'll see Late Night Marauders perform quite a bit. Yeah, the SOS, it's real soul-y, real nice. Looking forward to that. Yeah, have we had any more comments? Is there anything we can share?
We've got a new donation from Lucy.
Lucy, heyo! Thank you for donating.
Thank you.
Real nice. So where are we at percentage-wise?
We are at 77%.
77%.
Oh my God! Thank you, guys.
Come on. Thank you. That's
yeah, just
so
brilliant.
Good. Yeah, really nice. It might be apparent here, I'm running a little bit out of steam. So what we're going to do is switch over to the How to Into videos.
Welcome to my garden. I'm Lucy Clark from Radio Humberside, and I've just got you sat in a plant pot for now while I try and attempt to show you in 2 minutes how to train a dog. You might have just spotted my assistant. This is Lily. So every dog is different and I am no dog trainer, but hopefully this might give you a few helpful tips and advice. So always with the bribes, I've got her treats here. She loves these. So really it's just about matching the command with the action. So as soon as she did the action to my command, I gave her a treat, and through repetition she then knew how to do it. So I'm going to show you on now with the treat. Lily, what's this? Show me your belly. Show me your belly. She did it eventually, bless her. That one's just for fun really. There's no reason why you would ever need to see a dog's belly. But it's just fun. And to wait for food. So in teaching her this one, I did the lie down command. So down. And then in training her, I didn't give her the treat until she waited and I said okay. So I kept taking it away from her, which is mean, I know, but she learnt the way. So here's the treat. Wait. Put it over here so you can see. Wait. Wait. Okay. And as soon as I say okay, she is allowed the treat. And one more just for fun. is the good old favourite, and it's paw. So I taught her this one by saying the word paw and lifting it up, and eventually she learned the command. She wants to show her belly. Lily, paw. Good girl. That's a few tips on how to train a dog in 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Jo Barnes and I'm a director at the Soul Group and managing director of Shared Agenda. I've been asked to give a few thoughts about a message to my younger self, so here goes. Be brave and be strong. You will fail, whatever you do, you will fail from time to time, but you will get better and better at bouncing back, so have faith in yourself that you will, because you will bounce back. And you'll be even stronger as a result. Nothing beats hard work. So, you know, although it's sometimes quite feels like you're on a bit of a treadmill and you're not getting many rewards for what you're doing, believe that it will pay off, because, you know, nothing works like hard work. Don't take people at face value. Really watch and listen when people are talking to you, because you'll see the truth if you really watch them as well as listen to what they're saying. Watch how they say it, because not everybody is genuine out there, I'm afraid. So you've got to be able to sift through those people that are less genuine. Just be true to your values, understand what they are, learn about yourself, learn what they are. If it feels bad, you're probably doing something that's going against your core values, so don't do it. Be really positive. I'm quite an optimistic person. I think that attracts positivity and opportunity. I can tell you for sure that negativity breeds negativity, so you don't want to be doing that. Find the stuff you are great at and do more of that. You'll not be good at everything. Everybody has weaknesses. The beauty of getting older is you learn what they are and you surround yourself with people that can do those things, and you do the stuff that you like doing. So, you know, don't worry too much about that. JFDI, just do it. Don't procrastinate. Just crack on and you'll be a massive success and you'll have a great time ahead of you. Good luck.
Hi, my name is Megan and I work for CHCP in Hull. My job is to teach people how to communicate with people who have communication difficulties. So today I've been asked to do a how to into video in Makaton. So today I'm going to show you 10 signs that you will probably come across in day-to-day life. So whether it be at school, at work, or at the supermarket, it could be anywhere. These are 10 signs in Makaton that you may come across. So we'll start with hello. That's hello. Then we have how are you? That's how are you? Then we've got happy. That's happy. And sad. Sad. Then we've got to work. That's to work. And to ask. That's to ask. Next we have to talk. That's to talk. Then we've got to eat. That's to eat. And then 2 question signs that are usually used in sentences, but they could be used when somebody's trying to tell you something, so when they need help. So that's what, and where. Where. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you, and goodbye.
Hi there, I've been asked to do a 2-minute video on how to make bread. So I've already done some preparation to begin with, but we start off by weighing out 500 grams of flour, and I use a good strong flour for this. You can also use it for scones as well, or scones depending on how you say it, or which part of the country you come from. And we weigh that up, and then we then sift it through into the dish that we're going to use. Then we pop in 1 teaspoon of salt on top of that, and we give that a good mix. Then we'll make a little well in the middle. With that we put 300 millilitres of water. Before we put that in, we use yeast. Now I'm using dried yeast, but you can use any kind of different yeast you like. Now mix the 7 to 10 grams of yeast in warm water, and it must be warm because it helps dissolve the yeast. Then once you've mixed that up, you can pop it into your mix, and I use a big mixer, but if you want to do it by hand, you pop it on the big bowl, and then you slowly bring the flour in, and you mix it through with your fingers until it's all nicely mixed through together. Then once you've done that and it's mixed through together, you have to then proof it for an hour. And I'm proofing these for an hour, and I'm going to show you now, if I can turn it round. It's ready to be tipped out shortly. And what I've done is I've tipped it out and I've baked it flat, so I've knocked all the air out. So once I've made the weights up, we'll make them into little balls like this, and I'm just folding it all underneath itself, and I'm pinching it in. So here we have everything now. They come out of the big bowls and just made into individual things. I wet all the tea towels deliberately, because what I don't want it to do is stick to the tea towels, because that'll damage the bread altogether. So by having it nice and damp, not wringing wet through, but nice and damp, it will stop it sticking. So here we have the finished items that come out of the oven, and there we go.
Hi, I'm Dan from Roach Civil Engineering. I thought I'd give you a little 2-minute chat on trying to do comedy or humour in marketing. As you can see from our road sign that we put out to sites probably last Christmas, it got some good publicity. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about it. Being a small family business, our marketing budget is around the 0 mark, so we've got to come up with different ideas on how we can promote our company. So what I did was thought about the Hull accent, and as we know, we all speak a certain way, and I just had this great idea of to put a sign saying no roadworks, and got it made, and just the response was phenomenal really. It went viral on Facebook and social media, and I was getting emails from Hong Kong and Ireland with expats saying, you know, it reminded me of back home, so it was great really. So all I'd say was, if you've got an idea, you know, give it a whirl. And working with Kerry is absolutely fantastic, and just do what you're doing, okay?
Hello, so my name is Fiona Mills, and I have 2 shows on BBC Radio Humberside on a Sunday from 10 a.m. and on an evening, on a Wednesday evening from 6. So this is supposed to be a 2-minute video, a little snippet of how to be a radio presenter. Well, I can't possibly tell you in 2 minutes, but I can give you a little bit of advice, and that is, number 1, you will need one of these, a microphone. You'll also need one of these, the studio desk. You'll also need one of these, that's a computer. But most of all, you will need yourself, your voice, a great sense of humour, and you should be able to, I don't know, ask people questions without giving them the opportunity to just give you like a 1-word answer, like yes or no. Don't ask closed-ended questions. Ask open-ended questions. How I got on radio is, well, I started off at a community radio station. Community radio stations are a really good place to start if you want to get into radio, because you can learn your craft there, you can have some training, it should all be free, and it will help you on your steps into professional radio. Never give up. If you really, really, really want to do something, don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do it. It's entirely possible for you to be able to follow your dreams. And just keep believing in yourself. Keep looking for competitions that local radio stations run for new voices, for new talent. They usually do them once a year, so go along to those and see if you can get into radio that way. Find out who a PD is or a managing editor at a radio station, and send off a demo of you doing a few links, maybe doing an interview, and follow your dreams.
Hi, welcome to my How To Into. I'm going to talk about how you can attract some wildlife to your garden. Enjoy! One of the best things you can do to attract all different birds is to have a little feeding station. This is ours. We've got fat balls, some peanuts. That one's a Niger seed feeder. That's especially for Gary and Gloria, the goldfinches. And then we've got some suet pellets there that the starlings like. Best way to attract different bees and butterflies is to have a really good different variety of flowers, like you can see here. But also butterflies in particular like long grass. So we just let all this grass grow here. Something good to have in your garden is a water feature, something like a pond. This is our wildlife pond. We've got snails in here, Sammy and Cedric. We've got Freddy the frog, and the hedgehog and the birds like to come here as well for a drink and a bath. We've got tadpoles in there at the minute, and make sure that you've got it slopes down so that it's easy for the creatures to get in and out and have a little ledge. If you don't have space for a pond, you can just get a little bird bath like this one, but it is really important to make sure you've got some water in the garden so the birds can have a drink. How to attract hedgehogs to your garden is pop a little house in the garden for them so that they can hibernate over the winter. We've got this one here for Harry. You can make a bug hotel out of some old logs, just pile them all up, they love that. And also if you've got a tree, that's really good as well. We've got our nesting doves in here, Dave and Deirdre. And that's it, that's how to attract wildlife to your garden. So it just shows you don't need to have a massive garden, just have a few different feeders around, plant some nice bee-friendly flowers, have some water, and then just sit back and enjoy watching all the birds and wildlife coming to you.
All of us were born to fight!
yards. Now, all you need in order to make these is quite simply a piece of 2mm thick clear acrylic, a piece of foam, and some elastic. So what we do is we take the acrylic and we, using 2D CAD drawing, we create a template, and then we put this on our laser cutter, and then that cuts out our actual design. Now, the laser cutter works in a certain way where it uses different powers to do different things, so you can see that it's cut the outside, but then it's also got some etching. So once we have that template, we clean it, we disinfect it, and then what we do is we put it into a thermoforming oven. So this is roughly 176 degrees. What we do is we open up the oven, place a piece of paper so that we don't stick, so it doesn't affect the visibility, pop it in there, and as you've seen on cooking programs and whatnot, at Bake Off, we're going to keep having a look to make sure that it hasn't become too flimsy. What we're then going to do is we're going to take that out when it's ready, and we're going to put it across this mould, which will then give us the desired shape in which we need, which is this one here. Once we have that desired shape, we can clean, disinfect again, we can apply the foam, and that will give us what's nearly our finished article. We then take the elastic and create a band that goes around the side. So why are these good? Well, first of all, you can take the foam out and you can fully clean and disinfect the visor. The foam can be put in boiling water to be disinfected, sanitised. Once that's done, it can be used time and time again. These are multiple use face visors, they're extremely clear as you can see, and really, really good in terms of the environment, waste plastics and things like that. So, I'm just going to check on our plastic, see what it's like. So, you can see it's gone quite flimsy, so we're going to take this out, place it on the mould, make sure we get it relatively straight. Move that in. I'm just going to hold it in place just for a little while, just while it cools down around the mould. Give that a couple of seconds. Now, once that's cooled down, it is going to give us this shape. As I said before, piece of foam, piece of elastic, and there you've got something that's going to protect key workers from the COVID virus.
Here we go, we're back. Hope you enjoyed them. Real nice. So, what we're going to do now is go through a little bit about what's going to happen tomorrow, because we're getting to the end of our first day live stream. We've not been pulled off YouTube. Real nice. And we've only had one real car crash segment. So, I'm happy with that, aren't you?
Yeah, success. I mean,
come on.
Wow, well done, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. On that note, actually, our target is 500 quid, right? When we started, we was at 28%. We're now at 81%. We've got 510 quid of our donation. Thank you so much to people that have donated. Yeah, it means so much. And if you haven't yet and you feel compelled to, please do. Go to our Just Giving page, Summer Shutdown Fest, give it a search, and you know, any amount is so much appreciated, and it'll have a genuine impact. If you're watching this, share with your mates, get them to watch. You know, we've got a long festival. You know, it's a long time to just sit in front of the telly watching it. I appreciate that. Dip in and out. That still counts as statistics. We can still say to our funders, look at how many people watch this. Might mean more money. Might mean we could do more stuff like this with more young people. You know what I mean? Just dip in and out. It's all right. So yeah, thank you. What's going on tomorrow, Matthew? Bong.
So, first up at 4 to 7 p.m, it's Freedom Road Creative Arts.
Bong.
Then at 7, starting at 7:05 p.m, is Plain Developments.
Bong.
Then at 7:30, it's the Youth Arts Takeover, Music Gab and Games Design.
Bong.
Then at 7:40 p.m. start, it's an artist review, and it's Sam at Chapman Bake.
Bong. Jim Panda Bakes. Give me a bong.
Bong.
8 p.m. Pocahontas yoga session.
Bong.
8:30 Salvador. That's their first ever set. You'll be loving that.
Bong.
Real nice. 8:50 David Danville choreographing some dance.
Bomb!
9 o'clock, Disability, How to Into Videos, Part 2.
And finally, bomb!
8:30, Yasmin Kerr doing a live set. Come on, that was seamless. That was effortless. It was nice, that one.
Yeah.
Right, okay, now I'm going to bring up the time again. All right, so, as I say, thank you so much for donating. If you can, and you liked what we just did there, that was, again, Ant and Dec-esque, effortless presenting from two professionals.
If we had the accents, then it'd be
Oh, no, mate. Oh, maybe hello. No, I can't do the accent.
I'm not even going to try.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you for donating. Very shortly, we'll have Late Night Marauders doing their live set. You'll be loving that. Real nice. Get out of the rain and the thunder. I'll tell you what was really sweet. We're sat here, and while those How to Into videos are playing, Ian, who was doing our tech, gets the call from his partner's daughter because she was scared about the thunder and lightning, which was pretty sweet. So I hope you're all right if you're watching. You're probably not, but I hope you're all right. Don't be scared. It's all right. Yeah, real nice. So got loads of stuff coming up over the next couple of days. We can talk a little bit about Sunday as well, because you mentioned the alternative stage. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Can I tell you a bit more?
Put you on the spot. Maybe you can't, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's a high pressure environment.
I'm a bit forgetful.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Well, give me a reminder then.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Yeah. So starting at 4 o'clock.
So starting at 10 p.m. is Yesterday, 95. And then at 5 p.m. we got the fruit.
Nice. Fruit.
Yeah. At 5:10 we got Independent Film Showcase. Ooh, I look forward to that.
Real nice.
Yeah. At 5:30 we got Smiling Assassins.
Yeah, Smiling Assassin. Yeah, real nice.
No,
hardcore punk band. Real good.
And finally, at 6 p.m, the headliner, Sense Among Us.
Sense Among Us, real nice. Yep, cheers for that, mate. So that's the alternative stage. Again on that Sunday, this is going to be real nice. Jeddy Bear and Gary's Picnic. So if you know Jed Salisbury and Gary Jennison, you'll know that they're very, very funny. And they're going to do a 10 for us, because apparently I'm 80 now. 7:05, Anna Bean, Blue Beanie, doing an artist interview. This is one of these artist interviews that I was talking about before. Really good, really impactful stuff. 7:30, One Up Starts, they're an independent theatre company. They're going to, they've got like a trailer from one of the projects that they're doing. So you'll enjoy that. 7:35, an artist interview with Rowan Maggie. That was really nice. She's a young artist. It's really inspirational because I guess she's fairly early on in her career. But again, one of the things that I really wanted to elicit from these interviews was inspire people to act, inspire people to do. Because it's a really brave and bold thing to really decide to put yourself out there and become an artist. But, you know, it's possible, it's attainable, even if that means, you know, working a job on the side while you set it up. But, you know, give it a go if you're interested. So, at 8 o'clock, we've got a football session on the schedule. So, that's a, excuse me. That's a local youth work group, and they specialise in sports. And they've got like a little segment that'll, it shows you what you can do with very little at home. You know, I guess to keep your kids entertained, keep them engaged, and, you know, keep them fit and healthy. So I thought that was quite a nice little thing to put in. We've also got at 8:30 the Matchbox doing a live set. That's another one that we recorded upstairs. Actually, the Fruit we recorded at ours, and same with Smiling Assassin. They're really nice sets. Disability, part 3 for their How to Into videos. And then we finish it off with my favourite band of the whole festival, the Holy Orders. Really, really nice. I'm really, really looking forward to it. So, if that excites you, if it interests you, if it moves you, dip in and out, just see the bits that you want to see. It's all right. Still like you, won't we? Yeah. Just watch it. Because again, you know, we can go back to Arts Council England, we can go back to our funders across our projects and say, Look at the impact that we had. Look at how many people watched it. Can we have more money, please? And then they'll be like, yeah, of course. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, have it. Yeah, you're ace. Have it. And we'll be like, cheers. And then we'll continue to do ace things like this. And we've never done something of this magnitude before. And we've done it in 8 weeks. So come on. And again, if you feel moved to donate, thank you so much. Go to Summer Shutdown Fest Just Giving page and donate. And crucially, interact with us on Facebook and Instagram. You know, again, this is another thing that's really important, not just for the community aspects, but being able to demonstrate to our funders, this is how many people that have engaged with us. It really matters. Share with your mates, get them involved. They'll be loving it. So before we go over to Late Night Marauders, which you'll be loving, it's such a nice set. This is the second to last time we'll see you. So if you disappear straight after Late Night Marauders, I just want to again extend a really a really heartfelt thank you for tuning in and for donating. Thank you so much. Here's Late Night Marauders.
Choked on his pipe from morning till dark, and he never brushed his teeth. Yes, that was obvious to see, 'cause they was rotten in his mouth, just like the soul within him. Well, he used to have a wife and a beautiful life, till he threatened her one day with a kitchen knife. She kicked him so hard that he couldn't stand up. From that day on, he was down on his luck. Oh, raggedy old man, raggedy old man, you're just a raggedy old man. I used to see him sitting on a bench down the road with his rusty old bike and carrier bags as a load, and he'd always be talking to himself. Yes, but what he said, well, I could never make out. Well, he looks like he's homeless, but he does have a home, a big bushy beard, yet overgrown, dirty black nails and tobacco-stained fingers. He used to cough so hard I thought that he'd pass out from all those cigarettes that he's rolled and smoked. Oh, raggedy old man, raggedy old man, I see you're supping on a special brew can. Oh, raggedy old man, raggedy old man, I wish you'd take that can out of your hand. Cigarettes and alcohol are gone away. I just wanna go home to my lovely wife, who would have a cup of tea with her by my side. Yeah, 'cause she's the light of my life. Oh, raggedy old man, raggedy old man, raggedy old man, oh, raggedy rag, old man. You're just a raggedy old man. should have known from the start that this would end in disgrace. But I wanted to touch, I wanted to taste, I wanted more and more and more of your warm embrace. You have an impeccable face, and you ooze charisma. Walk the walk, talk the talk, made me feel like a star. I soaked it up and I crave more. Ooh, it's like a circus in here, and you've been playing the clown. You've been a bad, bad boy. Too much fooling around. As I lay across silk sheets, dripped with desire for his lust, I wasn't sure if this was love or was it illegitimate. I know I couldn't be enough. I wanted all you had to give. You seemed to give it all to me. Made me laugh, made me smile, made me think it was worthwhile. I thought that we was meant to be. Ooh, it's like a circus in here, and you've been playing the clown. You've been a bad, bad boy. Too much fooling around. Another night, another hotel. I take a shower on my own. Your wallet open on the floor, a photo I just can't ignore. I should know long before. Oh, just look at your wife. Oh, your beautiful wife, who just wanted life with you by her side. You messed up so many times. Oh, it's like a circus in here. Have you've been playing the clown. You've been a bad, bad boy. Too much fooling around. Yeah, you've been walking this tightrope, ooh, for too long now. And your world is gonna go. It's gonna come crashing down. I called my father on the telephone. I said, please, please, can I come home? He said, of course, my darling, don't you worry at all. He could hear me crying and said, it'll be alright. You know, just come home. walking by hand in hand. Is this what true love looks like? Feels unfamiliar to me. In that moment I just knew that I had to go home. So you can keep the house and all my things, 'cause I'm happier now, yeah, more than I've ever been. You took me for granted, yes, played me for a fool. I cried so many times, thank God my father said, just come home. Oh, just come home. Don't cry, my baby, just come home. Oh, just come home. Oh, just come home. Don't cry, my baby. Just come home. Daisy was a high-class lady, wears a black satin dress. It hangs like grace below her knees and hugs her body tenderly. Wears the highest of high heels, nothing less than Jimmy Choo's. And when she walks out of her front door, the men stop and bathe in her oar. And she said, hey bartender, won't you pour me a drink? The finest liquor a 20 can sink. 'Cause I've been working hard all goddamn night, and I just wanna get his face out of my mind. Daisy went out every night, all to find a new man. Married, gay or of the church, anyone who could pay her worth. Oh, your place or mine, she would smile and ask, I don't take less than 300 cash, but I'll guarantee you'll have a good time. I bet you call me back, oh, more than twice. And she said, hey bartender, won't you pour me a drink? The finest liquor a 20 can sink. 'Cause I've been working hard all goddamn night, and I just wanna get his face Daisy knew it couldn't last, but she just loved how her punters would gasp. And Daisy loved the finer things, oh, pearl necklace and diamond rings. She met a fine man to call her own, tall, dark, handsome, big trombone. He whisked her cleanly off her feet. Oh, no more working by the street. And she said, hey, bartender, won't you pour us a drink? Oh, this is my man, I'd like to introduce him. His name is Charlie James Monroe, and by God, how I love him so. And she said, hey, bartender, won't you pour us a drink? Hey, bartender, won't you pour us a drink? Thank you very much. Have you met Fernando's girlfriend? She must be 20 stone. She never leaves the house without a strawberry and lemon bonbons. She doesn't care, oh, what you think. She owns herself and you wouldn't want to mess with it. She's known to carry a knife and she ain't afraid to use it. Fernando's girlfriend, she's quite a sight. She'll chew you up, spit you out until Fernando's delight. Yeah, she's the kind of woman that you want on your side. They met late one Friday night over whiskey and a bottle of red wine. He asked her if she wanted to dance, and she didn't refuse him. He took her hand and led her to the dance floor. He picked her up, spun around, he gave it his all. Yeah, he was falling in love, and so was she. Fernando's girlfriend, she's quite a sight. She'll chew you up, spit you out until Fernando's delight. Yeah, she's the kind of woman that you want on your side. On the first date, she ordered steak and fries, a side of ribs, dessert, a blueberry pie. She said, smother it in cream, I'll have seconds of that, please. Keep it coming to me. Fernando got down on one knee. He said, baby, won't you please marry me? She said, of course, my love. Now get that ring on my fourth. The cake was a delightful sight, dripped in chocolate, dark milk and wine. She said, I don't like to share, but this time I'll make an exception. Hey, Fernando's girlfriend, she's quite a sight. She'll chew you up, spit you out until Fernando's delight. Yeah, she's the kind of woman that you want on standing here and I'm trying hard to explain, but you're not letting me speak my words and it's driving me insane. I wanna do this gracefully, but I'm crying here down on the floor, and every time I try to get up you shout me down some more. I'm not saying that you're wrong and I'm not saying I'm right, but he just took me by surprise and startled me for a while. I won't lie, I wanted to kiss him, I won't lie, I liked what I saw, and I think he kinda liked me too, and it turned me on somehow. Yes, there's been a misunderstanding here.
There's been a misunderstanding
oh,
here.
There's been a misunderstanding here.
There's been a misunderstanding
yeah,
here.
There's been a misunderstanding here. Will the future be bright? There's been a misunderstanding here, and I'm sorry, baby, alright. Like came out of nowhere and lit up something inside. He made me feel so wild at night, but I repelled with all my might. His eyes are darker than the sky, his lips are plump and soft, and when I leaned in to take it home, I had to repel some more. Yes, there's been a misunderstanding here.
There's been a misunderstanding
yeah,
here.
There's been a misunderstanding here.
There's been a misunderstanding
oh,
here.
There's been a misunderstanding here. Will the future be bright? There's been a misunderstanding here, and I'm sorry, baby, alright. I'd like to introduce you to the band, everybody. Here on my right-hand man, this is James Wood on keys. Woo! Here to my left on bass we have James North. To my far left on trombone we have Pete Robinson. On trumpet we have Simon Nelligan. And on drums we have Tom Small.
And let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Ruth Scott on vocals.
So this is usually the part where you can get involved in the song even more. So just copy what I do. You ready, James?
Yeah.
Da 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 da.
Da 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 da.
Do 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 do.
Do 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 do.
Skibbity bop ba doo bop bop beep.
Skibbity bop ba da bop bop beep.
Ba da bop ba doo bop bop ba.
Ba da bop da bop bop ba.
Skibbity bop ba doo bop bop beepity bop bop ba doo ba doo da da beepity bop bop ba doo ba doo da 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 da. Let's take it down. Please can you forgive me for letting my defenses down. I managed to keep him away, you see, and I swear I don't want him now. I made a mistake, I don't want to break your heart, I love you so. Tell me things will be alright and you'll let this thing go. Yes, there's been a misunderstanding here.
There's been a misunderstanding
Oh,
here.
there's been a misunderstanding here.
There's been a misunderstanding
Yeah,
here.
there's been a misunderstanding here. Will the future be bright?
There's been a misunderstanding here. I'm sorry, baby, alright.
Yes, there's been a misunderstanding here.
Well, there's been a misunderstanding here.
Oh, there's been a misunderstanding here.
There's been a misunderstanding here.
There's been a misunderstanding here. Will the future be bright? There's been a misunderstanding here. And I'm sorry, baby, alright. herself a new dress in years. She's so fine that almost brings me to tears. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. It almost
brings me to tears. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. It almost brings
me to tears.
a new dress in years. She's so fine that almost brings me to tears. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It almost brings me to tears. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It almost brings me to tears.
Thank you so much, everybody. Good night.
Late Night Marauders. What a nice set that was.
Yeah.
Come on, so nice. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We're wrapping up, and I believe Matthew has something to say.
Yes, Tom's friendly on. I heard that he didn't catch my name, but he thought I was doing really well. Really had me, so I would just like to say thank you for the kind comment. That really means a lot to me. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Shout out to my mum and dad. Thank you for watching. Please donate because it's for a good cause, and yeah, good cause. And join in tomorrow because it's going to be even better, I would say. So, and thank you so much for those who watched. So, good night. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And yeah, just to wrap up. So tomorrow, what we're going to do is create a new link. So have a look at our Instagram and our Facebook, and we'll pop in a new link for Saturday. And that'll be the thing that you use to watch all of the content then. Again, really big heartfelt thank you to those that have donated so far. We've got another update here. Thank you, Kelsey, for donating. Very nice of you. And Lisa Witten. And we've got a message from Lisa as well. An absolutely fantastic Summer Shutdown Fest so far. A huge well done to everyone involved making this a reality and for supporting the sensory appeal. And then some love hearts and emojis that I don't understand. But thank you. So, yeah, I mean, we're pretty much there. We're pretty much wrapping up. Tell your mates about it, you know, share the link, get them to watch it. They'll like it if you liked it, maybe not. But either way, if we can get the watches, that matters. So yeah, it's really hard to wrap up because I'm having such a good time. But there you go. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
Bye everyone. Bye.